Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of my World of Warcraft Let's Play. Last episode we were doing a bunch of stuff here in Red Ridge Mountains, and today we are continuing our adventures as a human mage, but going to a new land in the Kingdom of Stormwind, the final land here that we have not visited yet, Duskwood. We have a quest here called Messenger to Darkshire, and this is related to a quest chain that we have been doing here in Lakeshire with Magistrate Solomon, where we have been going around the road and sending messages to important people in the different zones and locations around the Kingdom of Stormwind. And now we are going to Darkshire, which is in the lands of Duskwood. Duskwood is a really cool area, and you're going to see why in just a moment, because its name is very aptly given to it, where it is a very dusky, woody area. A really interesting piece of trivia about this area is it used to be called Brightwood, but about reasons I'm going to talk about a little bit in the future, it got changed and named to Duskwood, and we are going to see some very cool storylines in the zone. And in this first episode of exploring Duskwood, we're just going to take a quick glance at everything that's going on and kind of just getting a little bit taste of the zone, and we will dive deeper in the future episodes that we are exploring this area. But here we are approaching Three Corners, and we have been through two of the roads coming off of the Three Corners area here, where we have come in from the west to Elven Forest, and we went east along the road into Red Ridge Mountains towards Lakeshire and towards Stonewatch Keep and all these areas here. And now we are going to go into the third and final fork of this little corner area here into Duskwood. We have Guard Parker here we met a very long time ago now, and let's go ahead and just come towards this bridge over here and go into the lands of Duskwood. You can see it off in the horizon here. It's honestly very spooky, and it's nighttime right now, both in game and in real life. It's pretty late at night for me right now, so it just adds a little bit of the spookiness to this area that we are entering. You can see in Elven Forest and in Red Ridge, it's very light and vibrant, where Red Ridge is more rocky and mountainous, where Elven Forest is much more green and tree, foresty, all that stuff. And Duskwood, it is foresty, but it is not bright and vibrant. It is very dark and mellow. And here we have this very cool looking bridge that we can go ahead and cross here, and we are now entering Duskwood for the first time, and I just love this transition into the road here. We saw these wolves in episode 2 or something, where they are very scary high level wolves in that episode, but they're only level 19. We're level 21 adventurers. Let's go ahead and come further into Duskwood, and we can see some of these spider trees that used to be a thing we saw from the distance, but now we are walking under them. And we have another bridge up here along the road, and we're going to start seeing some NPCs in the near future as we head to Darkshire, which is the town here in Duskwood. Similar to Red Ridge and similar to Westfall, there are not many different quest hubs similar to how it was in Elven Forest. There's only going to be one a very large quest hub, and there are going to be some quests here and there in the zone, and Darkshire is that one. Here we have Watcher Callahan, which is a member of the Night Watch, which we're going to be more in the future. And here we have Kizix, or how you pronounce it. This is a rare goods merchant, and he is a goblin from Booty Bay. So we can take a look at what he has. Nothing I'm really kind of looking at right now. This wizard's belt is actually kind of nice. Let's take a look at what it looks like. I might actually... Oh, is this one even better though? Dreamer's belt. You know, I'm not a big fan of spending gold on items like this, but I feel like this would be a really good buy. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this Dreamer's belt. Let's take a look at what this is. Strength of Will. I'm okay without it. But when we reach level 24, inevitably we're probably going to have a better belt than this one. But we can go ahead and equip this belt if we do not. And it was only 40 silver. We'll get that back. Let's go ahead and head further west. But Guard Callahan over there is a member of the Night Watch, and kind of similar to how the People's Militia are the defenders of Westfall, the Night Watch are the defenders of Duskwood. They are kind of like a militia-ish organization that has arisen in Duskwood because of the absence of the guards of Stormwind being in this land as well, as you're going to see. And they are tasked with protecting the land and the citizens from any dangers that exist in this area. And we are going to discover many dangers here. This is definitely going to be the most hostile zone we'll have ever been in. We can see there are some ghouls over there on the left. Let's just ignore them for now. And let's go ahead and head further towards Darkshire. We are getting pretty close here. We have Watcher Bacchus here, another member of the Night Watch. And I feel relatively safe with them around, and very cool lighting there with this torch. Duskwood is a really cool area because of how dark it is, and you can kind of see with like all the torches and lamps here. It is very cool. And I was kind of talking about like several episodes ago about how there is the potential for there to be like a new profession in the game when they were developing World of Warcraft originally, to be involved about like lighting and stuff, which would have played a big part in a map like this. But here we are in Darkshire, the main quest hub here in this land of Duskwood, and we can see it's a very cool, pretty large town with a ton of buildings. And if we come over here to the eastern side, we can go ahead and get the flight path here and can start picking up some of the quests that are located around here. I'm probably not going to pick up every single one of them. Let's go ahead and
need help?
See, we can now fly to Lakeshire, to Sentinel Hill, to Stormwind, to Thossamar, and to Ironforge. Very cool. Let's come over here and let's just take a quick glance at this quest and see if it's something I want to pick up. It is definitely a high level quest, and I might just leave it here for now. So he wants us to bring him a bronze tube. I'll just go ahead and accept it, and I'll probably drop the quest if need be. A bronze tube is made by engineers, so we could buy one off the auction house, or if you had an alternate character that we were playing on this account that was an engineer, we could make that. But let's go ahead and come over here and pick up this quest here. The Totem of Infliction, which is another very high level quest that we are probably not going to be dealing with right now, but we can see there's a bunch of stuff around this land that we can gather. And here we have a bunch of quests available from this person. So Ravenhill is a very cool quest. We'll take a look at it in a minute. The Hermit, also a pretty cool quest. And then Delirious to Swin. This is all towards the western area here, and we can kind of explore all of that in the future. Let's come over here and let's pick out this quest called the Night Watch, which is very similar to like the People's Militia quest in Westfall. We're just going to be dealing with some of the issues in Duskwood, and we can see some of those issues has to do with the undead. Let's go ahead and talk to Lord Elo Ebonlock, and we can go ahead and turn in our Messenger to Darkshire quest, where he says, "Thank you for making the long journey. This is indeed important information." He says, "If I did not know Magistrate Solomon personally, I would say the man has gone mad. Send the Night Watch to Lakeshire because Stormwind refuses aid. The Night Watch was formed because Stormwind left us when this foul magic seeped into the land. If I sent my Night Watch, the town would be overrun by evil before the guards even reach the forest edge. Take this letter of response to your master in Lakeshire." So next time we return to Lakeshire, we can go ahead and give this letter to him. And we can kind of read it here. "Your Honor, I regret to inform you that the Night Watch is unable to leave its post in Darkshire at this time. Perhaps you were unaware that Stormwind no longer provides military support in this region. The Night Watch has been formed and trained entirely by the people of the forest in order to defend Darkshire in Stormwind's absence. Without the Watch, the town would fall. I wish you good luck with your plight, Lord Elo Ebonlock." So we can see the guards have also abandoned this area. But now we have 3 quests, and we can go ahead and run west. And we need to be really careful on this road, because this land, as I said, is very hostile. And there is a very dangerous enemy that patrols this road. So we're going to keep an eye out for them. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the quests we have in our quest log. So this one is to find out what is haunting Ravenhill, which is another town on the western part of Duskwood, which is kind of bordering Westfall. And this quest says, "Something amiss at Ravenhill, Athos. Calaru swears that someone or something is haunting the buildings there. 2 nights running he's noticed that shadows moving, and the third before that he said he saw light in one of the windows. If, as you say, you care about the safety of Duskwood, find out what monster haunts in Ravenhill." We have this other quest here that says deliveries to Swin. Do you know Swin? Now there is a man who does the work of light. He and his followers keep a camp at the northwestern edge of Duskwood. Unfortunately, because they are so few, they cannot even spare a man to fetch supplies from town. Will you deliver these supplies to him? And then we have this quest here that is, there was an old man who used to come into town to buy supplies rather frequently, but I haven't seen him for quite some time now. He lives out in a shack overlooking Ravenhill Cemetery, if I remember correctly. Perhaps you should go see if something is amiss. So all three of these quests revolve around, you can kind of see this forming a triangle here. It's a little spooky. And they're all around Ravenhill Cemetery and the town of Ravenhill that we are going to be spending a long time in the next few episodes here. And we can just come here and turn in these three quests, pick up all these quests. We have another quest here that we can pick up, and then we can just spend a little bit of time this episode working on these quests. And the next little bit of time that we spend in this Let's Play is definitely going to be spent in this zone working on these quests before we head back to Lakeshire to work on some quests there, and then we'll head back to Duskwood to continue working on quests here. And pretty soon we're going to be going on even a longer adventure. So we have gone to Loch Modan, which is the farthest north we have gone, and we will be going even further north in the future. We're kind of getting to the point of the game where we're going to be spending a lot of time traveling. We got this reward attacking this. I just frost over it. We're going to be spending a lot of time traveling to faraway distant lands to work on some quests, and I am super excited to work on those. Let's go ahead and pick this quest up here. It's just to kill some spiders around this area, and we can work on that. And then let's head farther west. You can see there is a road heading south there, heading into a very, very large, one of the largest, if not the largest zone in vanilla World of Warcraft called Stranglethorn Vale, which we will peek our head into in a future episode. Let's go ahead and continue heading further west as we head towards Ravenhill. We have not unlocked any of the map art over here because we haven't really strayed far away from the path here, and I'm still keeping my eye out and being cautious about a dangerous enemy that may be on this road, which maybe we won't see in this episode, but we'll definitely see at some point. We have Antonio Pirelli, which we met in Goldshire, I believe, several episodes ago. He is here in Duskwood. He wanders all around the road, and he is something, or all around the road, all around the Kingdom of Stormwind, and he is somebody that we'll probably pass into again at some point. Maybe there's a counter for how many times we passed into him in this Let's Play. But let's go ahead and just keep heading further west. And we are now approaching Ravenhill. So here we have this marker leading us north into the town of Ravenhill. There's a spooky road there that we're not going down right now. Let's go ahead and find out what is haunting this area of Ravenhill. And here we have Jitters. So let's go ahead and have a chat with Jitters. See, it's a little bit of a town. There's like an inn there and a couple of houses. And Jitters is here in the town center, just wandering around as well. And he says, "No, please don't kill me. It's just me, Jitters. They're everywhere. I can't escape the monsters in Ravenhill. No, couldn't be. Only harmless Jitters." Let's go ahead and turn in this quest.
How are you?
And then we can pick up this quest called Jitters' Growling Gut, and we can find food to give to Jitters in order to help him, so we can return to the chef in Darkshire when next we head back there. Let's go ahead and head northwest here. We can come into the forest here. We're now going to head into Ravenhill Cemetery, which is just north of Ravenhill. We can kind of see the fence there off on the side, and we can fight some of the spiders in the woods here, and then head north in order to go to the camp here with Sven. Let's go ahead and see all these spiders here, and we have this green recluse that we can fight for vials of spider venom for our Totem of Infliction quest, which is a very high level quest, and I have a feeling we're going to be working on it for quite a while. We have a starving dire wolf there. This zone, for me, does a very good job of making me feel like uneasy and like a little nervous, I guess, because I feel kind of uncomfortable just being in this zone right now because of how like kind of spooky and like uneasy the lands are, and like how many monsters there are and how dangerous it is. And like these spiders, very big spiders, there are undead stalking around the corner, and just a lot of threats that we will have to deal with here while we are questing through this area. So let's always keep an eye over our shoulder and our frostbolt ready to cast when needed. And we can go ahead and come over here and fight this spider. Let's go ahead and deal with this one on the right here. Venom web spider. I know this, I've said this already, I think, where I kind of just like press my keyboard a lot. I'm pressing just one over and over again, getting ready to cast my next frostbolt. But I don't really need to until the frostbolt is ready to be cast at the end of the previous frostbolt being cast. Let's go ahead and come this way a little bit, being wary of the grave robbers actually, and some undead. Those undead are level 24, so that is not going to be something we're dealing with quite yet. Once we reach level 24 and level 25, we can come back into Ravenhill and explore it. But we can kind of see here we have a ton of spiders that we can deal with, and some wolves that we'll be dealing with soon in the future, I believe. And we can just work on all of this. Let's go ahead and fight this spider again to get another vial of spider venom. Actually, we haven't gotten a single one yet, so hopefully we'll get our first one from this one. We are kind of like 23% of the way towards level 22. That's very good. Leveling pretty fast. I have quite a bit of rested experience right now, which is nice. And let's go ahead and read that. We're at the Hushed Bank right now. Let's go ahead and restore our health and mana. And we're getting closer and closer towards this camp, which will be a little sense of safety and security and stability in this land. Where if you stray a little too far away from camp, we will be met by many spiders, wolves, and undead. But let's go ahead and just keep working our way over there so we can meet this gentleman by the name of Sylvan. We have more spiders on our way here, so let's go ahead and deal with this spider. You can kind of see off in the distance there, there's a river. You can see on the mini map, I can't really see the river here, but I can see Westfall off there, across the river. It's very cool. It's really cool seeing like zones off in the distance when you're like lower level, and then once you're finally higher level, you see the zones that you were looking at the current zone from originally, and like the zones that you were leveling earlier on in your playthrough. Let's go ahead and sneak past all this stuff, and we can come over here. We currently have 20 quests on our quest log, which is okay. We can go ahead and turn in this quest, and then I think we have 2 quests to pick up here, so I might be abandoning the bronze 2 quests from earlier. Let's go ahead and do just that. Look to the stars. We'll go ahead and abandon you and then pick you up once we get back to Darkshire. And we can go to Sven's farm and find what was buried behind the old stump. Not exactly sure where that is. Oh, it's all the way down here. We'll deal with that in the future. But this quest here, we can kill 12 starving direwolves and 8 rabid direwolves. So any of the wolves around this area we can go ahead and deal with. And then let's come over here and talk to Abercrombie the Hermit. But there are a bunch of wolves you can fight along here, so I'm probably just going to make my way towards the Hermit and then make my way back to this camp and then seek shelter in the safety and security of this camp. Go ahead and fight a starving dire wolf here, and then there are more wolves over there that you can fight, as well as some spiders that you can fight as well. We're gonna have to find some pygmy venomous spiders. We've been fighting like the bigger ones, so we're definitely gonna have to try to find some of the smaller ones as well. But there are a ton of mobs around here, so I'm sure we'll be able to find some. I think the pygmy ones are like further south along the river, where we're kind of heading east right now. But we can still deal with all the threats here. And I'll go ahead and fire blast this tower just to finish him off, and then let's go ahead and we could probably fight one more spider without restoring our mana. This is going to be a very bad mistake I'm making right now, isn't it? Let's go ahead and cast some frost bolts, and then we are running a little bit low on mana, but I think we're going to have enough to finish him off. We only need one more frost bolt to land. There we go, and we got a vial of spider venom, so that is very nice. We made a little bit of progress on that quest. I'll go ahead and put this vial down here, and then nothing else in our inventory is quite ready for any quests, but I can go ahead and just organize this a little bit. And this is a sell bag, so I just sell everything in that bag because I don't want any of the items there. We have another rabid direwolf up here that we can fight. We have a king's blood right now, which is high level herbalism. It doesn't even tell us what level we need to be because we don't have herbalism unlocked, so we can go ahead and just ignore that and focus on the wolf right now. I currently only have tailoring unlocked. I haven't unlocked any other professions. I can unlock a second profession, and I could unlock any of the secondary professions that exist of fishing, cooking, or first aid. I haven't spent much time doing that, and I'm probably not going to spend a ton of time doing that with this character. It's just not something I really want to focus on this character, but with future characters I'll probably definitely focus on that more so. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye on tailoring. Let's go ahead and frost over this direwolf, and then I can cast a bunch of frost bolts from a safe distance, and we can finish this wolf off. And then I'll just back up a little bit here. There's a wolf over there. I'll back off over here, and we can restore some mana. So we have a starving dire wolf coming in there that might aggro onto us, and it is indeed doing that. So let's go ahead and just deal with this threat very quickly. We're moving up very fast, feels really good right now. Let's go ahead and fight this dire wolf off, and then we're getting closer and closer. I feel like I'm not sure we made much progress at all to getting towards this hermit. Let's go ahead and finish this wolf off with a wand blast. Hopefully, I'm leveling up my wand skill right now. Let's go ahead and then just restore our health and mana. Alrighty, let's head further east. Still a ton of threats here. Let's go ahead and come down this hill, and we discovered a new area here. I'm not going to get close to that area. It's definitely very dangerous. We have a pygmy venom spider here. Let's go ahead and deal with this one. We need to kill 15 of them for our quest. So let's go ahead and this one is very low level, so not too big of an issue to deal with. And we can get some of the spider venom we need from those pygmy ones as well, so that is very nice. And there are both rabid and starving direwolves along this forest edge here, so we can go ahead and just continuously work on this quest without having to go off into a faraway land to kill some of these wolves. And then looks like pygmy spiders spawn here as well, so we'll just keep an eye out for them for this quest. There's another one right here. Let's go ahead and deal with it. We have 3 out of 8 of the rabid dire wolves that we need, and I definitely noticed there are a ton more rabid than there are starving. There's a couple of starving over here. Let's go ahead and just finish this pygmy off and restore our mana very quickly so we can get back into combat. Let's go ahead and deal with this starving dire wolf. We need 12 dire wolves dead for this quest. We're currently at 3 out of 12 there. Or the starving variety anyways. More than the rabid that we need to deal with. 4 out of 12 there. Let's go ahead and get our 4th rabid here. And there are 3 rabid dire wolves here, so we could pretty much finish this part of the quest right here. We have 2 of them coming in, so let's go ahead and back far away here and try to deal with this dire wolf pretty quickly. We're definitely going to have to restore mana after this fight, because we are going to run out while fighting this second dire wolf here, which we have made 0 progress on so far. I can go ahead and use up all my mana, and then I guess now is a good opportunity for me to work on leveling up my wand skill as I restore some mana. I'm starting to consistently hit the enemies now with my wand, where they were constantly resisting just like that. Now they only resist every now and then. This is a little sketchy here. Let's go ahead and cast a frostbolt and then a fire blast, and hopefully get a big hit, and hopefully you don't get snuck up on by anybody. Let's go ahead and quickly restore our health and mana, and we can come over here and fight some more wolves and try to find some more spiders. We're now about halfway from the camp towards the hermit, so that is where we are trying to reach right now, is to get to Abercrombie. Let's go ahead and come over here and fight the starving dire wolf. I think I want to kill first, because we still need 8 more of them dead for our quest. Let's go ahead and fight off this one, and then we can kind of cut inland a little bit and deal with those ones there. If we really needed safety, we could just swim across to Elven Forest there, which is a very peaceful, serene, and safe area where I would feel very comfortable being in. But right now, we do not need that. We can stay here in the dark and dangerous lands of Duskwood. Let's go ahead and fight this dire wolf and back off a little bit. I don't think it helps my cause right now with exploring Duskwood, with it being 12:19 in the morning and the evening, however you want to call it, because it is definitely very dark outside, and I am starting to sketch myself out even more by describing this environment. And now I am looking around me in real life and being a little bit more concerned. It's definitely not good that I get a little scared from situations like this. It's definitely don't want to play any like real big horror games, because I'm not going to have a good time with that. We deal with this direwolf very quickly, and we got him down pretty quick there, and then we'll just finish off with one more frostbolt, and we only need one more rabid direwolf, so we can go ahead and try to focus on the starving ones a little bit, and then we can just work on getting our spiders dead as well. So there are a ton of rabid direwolves here, but there's a starving one on the other side of this tree that we can deal with. And we got another vial of spider venom, which is very nice. I believe for this quest we need a ton of stuff. So we need ghoul fangs and skeleton fingers, which we'll get from Ravenhouse Cemetery, but that is a little bit of a high level area for us right now, so we'll return to deal with that in the future. Let's go ahead and deal with the starving direwolf here, and then I see some more direwolves over there, but one of them is rabid, one of them is starving, so we can go ahead and kill them. But we can go ahead and sneak over towards the hermit. There are some wolves there as well. Let's go ahead and loot this one. We're at 6 out of 12 now, and let's go ahead and come up here, and we can try to find the hermit, who should be right here at this camp. A little bit of a sketchy camp where we see there's a grave site there, and it looks like kind of a cage right there. Let's go ahead and talk to Abercrombie, who says, "Elaine Caravan?" Oh yes, of course, the caravans. No, nothing wrong, but it's hard for me to go into town now. The roads are dangerous and I'm not getting any younger. Maybe you can do an old man some favors.
See you later.
So we can pick up a quest of supplies from Darkshire. Oh, what is a poor old man to do? I need some supplies from Darkshire, but the village is so far away, and I am so old and feeble I would never make the trip. Can you go to Darkshire and bring me back some ghost hair thread? You can get it from Madam Eva at her home on the Darkshire Square.
Have a good one.
So next time we go to Darkshire, we can go ahead and work on some of the quests here. But for now, let's go ahead and work our way back towards the camp in the northwest corner here, but fighting some wolves and spiders on the way back. And then next episode, we can kind of see about heading south along here to fight some spiders, and then heading back to Darkshire. But we need some more spiders dead and more wolves dead right now. So let's go ahead and find some more starving direwolves. It's definitely what I want to be looking for right this moment. And I can see a bunch right here. There's 3 right here. So this should be able to get us a good chunk of the way through our quest here. The starving direwolf, halfway dead already. I feel like with my new frostbolt ability, I am doing a ton of damage, and it feels really good to just be blasting away at these wolves and dealing a ton of damage to them. I can go ahead and restore my health and mana a little bit. So there's an enemy way off in the distance there, but I don't think that's something we're kind of going to be dealing with right now. Let's go ahead and come down and fight this direwolf, and I see one over here that I can go ahead and just aggro this one. Let's go ahead and fight this one first. And then I think I'm not going to head any further east. I'm just going to go ahead and start heading further west, because I'm sure we will be able to find some of the starving direwolves as we head west, because I'm sure the ones that are farthest west have respawned, and they're just going to continuously be respawning back towards that area. We need 4 more. So not too many more we need, but we do need to go back and fight one of the red ones. There's one right there, so not too big of an issue. Let's go ahead and deal with this starving direwolf, which should be very easy to deal with. But we are running low on mana. Maybe we'll be able to kill this direwolf with this frostbolt, but nope, I need to use my wand a little bit. And my first hit with my wand hit there, so that is very good for us. Let's go ahead and come over here, and we can fight this starving direwolf here, and then we can just get that rapid direwolf to finish off that part of the quest. And then we can follow the river back west. Hopefully there are 2 more starving direwolves that we can fight. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, and then we can come over here, fight this rabid direwolf. Should be very simple to deal with. The resist is not helping my cause there, where I said it's simple to deal with. Go ahead and cast another resist. This is very unfortunate encounter. We might actually run out of mana before we fight this dire wolf. Kind of getting a little low on health, but I think we're going to be okay. The critical hit made up for those 2 resists. That is nice. Let's go ahead and heal and restore mana before something sneaks up on us. And that was the 8th rabid dire wolf we needed for this quest. So we just need to fight 2 more starving dire wolves, and hopefully we can find some pygmy spiders on the way back as well. I killed 2 on the way towards the hermit, so I should hopefully find 2 on the way back, hypothetically, but I think if we head south we'll definitely be able to find a lot. Let's go ahead and come over here. See, that is a rabid dire wolf there. I don't want to deal with that one. Let's head over here and look out for any wolves that are spawning along here or that have spawned. Those are both rabid dire wolves. I think the ones further inland are like tend to be more on like the rabid side of the variety of dire wolf, whereas the starving ones tend to be closer to the water, or maybe if they went more inland to where there might be more food and less water, they might no longer be starving. But here's one here that we can go ahead and deal with, and then we'll only need to find 1 more. And those are all rabid over there. I'm sure there's another one just here on the other side of this hill. Let's go ahead and deal with this dire wolf here. And get another frostbite off, and then I can finish off with the fire blast. Keep heading this way. 11 out of 12, almost done with that quest. And indeed, on the other side of the hill here was the starving dire wolf. So let's go ahead and aggro it. Wow. It aggroed super far away, I feel like. Let's go ahead and run this way a little bit. It looks like there's like a little bit of a rock kind of sticking up in the river there. It's very cool. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Where there's just a little bit of a rock there. I'm actually kind of intrigued. And I kind of want to go stand on it just because it's like a thing we can stand on. So let's go ahead and take a quick small detour into Elven Forest maybe. And then we can stand on this rock. And this is cool. I don't know why I came here, but I enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and head back west. That starving dire wolf spawned, but we are now at 12 out of 12. So let's go ahead and just focus on getting back towards the camp. I'll fight dire wolves that kind of come across as if they like attack us, but I might kind of bob and weave and dodge them a little bit. But I am going to keep an eye out for any pygmy venomweb spiders or venomweb spiders in general. And there's one right here, so let's come and land just a little bit and try to aggro this. Getting a little bit far away, you can go ahead and cast a fireball. And I think my fireball is rank 4 now, so that's a good thing that I kind of picked that new tier of fireball up. And finish this one off, and we got a vial of spider venom from it, which is very nice and very convenient. Let's go ahead and just restore mana just in case we need to use a bunch of mana. The starving dire wolf is definitely kind of getting a little close to us. Everything else is far away. Let's go ahead and come this way more, and then we'll keep an eye out for any spiders. So there is that king's blood that we saw earlier, and we are almost back to the camp, and I don't see any spiders right here. So let's go ahead and head into this camp, and we can turn in this wolf quest and see if there's anything else to pick up afterwards. I'm not sure if there is, so we'll go ahead and find out. Let's talk to Lars, and we got Flash Bundle, and there is not another quest. Let's go ahead and put Flash Bundle, which is Call Down a Pillar of Fire, onto our action bar. And I think for this episode, I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. And next episode, we can continue working on the spider quest. I think we can see the Moonbrook like schoolhouse off in the distance there. That is really cool. But we can sit here down at the campfire, and we can kind of just take a little bit of a relaxing break from fighting all these mobs here in Duskwood under the protection of Lars and Swin Jorgen with this nice little campsite that is here. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed playing through the starting area here of Duskwood, and I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. If you want to support me, I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you are new here, or if you have been around for a while and haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you help me out in reaching that goal. But no pressure to you whatsoever. If you also want to support me, go ahead and like and comment. I enjoy seeing numbers go up, so go ahead and make numbers go up for me, because that makes me happy. But I hope you all take good care of yourselves, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time in our adventures in Azeroth. Goodbye.